There are AI optimists and there are AI pessimists. And in 2025, the AI optimists were clearly winning. New models were dropping every few weeks, and there was seemingly an endless string of breakthroughs. And this amazing future felt genuinely within reach. But more recently, the AI pessimists have started to take over. If you go through LinkedIn, you see concerns about data centers, energy consumption, and technical feasibility questions are starting to weigh in. And also the markets, it seems, are starting to agree. But here's the thing, both sides have been right and both sides have been wrong. So in this video, I'm going to attempt to reconcile these two positions because I'm both an AI optimist and an AI pessimist at the same time. But I want to explain here where AI actually works and why, with specifics and not hype, because once you understand that clearly, the whole optimist pessimist thing argument just falls away. So let me tell you now what the AI pessimists say. Enterprise AI, largely a disaster. There's been billions of dollars spent on chatbots that hallucinate, Copilot that nobody uses, and strategy decks that exist purely to keep consultants happy. And if you've been sitting inside a large corporate watching the AI rollout, you probably worked out that most of it is hype. And you're not crazy. You can see actually what's happening. And the use cases that get sold into the C-suite, such as summarizing documents, answering questions, automating customer service, they're either marginal, unreliable, or just recreating something that already existed. The ROI isn't there, and the trust isn't there. And the technology keeps failing in ways that's really embarrassing. And the pessimists look at this and say, I told you, this is all just a bubble. And in that context, the enterprise AI adoption, they're not wrong. But the optimists aren't wrong either, because something is happening, something real and something that genuinely changes the way work gets done. It's just not happening in the boardrooms, but it's happening in code editors. Developers are now building things right now that would have taken a team of 5, 6, or months to ship, and they're doing it solo and in days. The prototypes that used to sit in backlog are now going into production in a week. Junior developers are now operating at a level that used to require years of experience. And experienced developers have just gained a superpower. The AI optimists are pointing at this and saying, see, AI is transformative. And in this specific domain, they're absolutely right. So how on earth does this possibly make sense? Well, the answer for me comes down to language ambiguity. Let's think about natural language for a second. English is a mess. The same word can mean completely different things depending on context, tone, history, culture, sarcasm, and even geography. Fine can mean everything's great, or it can mean that someone is furious with you, particularly if that fine comes from a woman, because fine almost never means fine. Sick can mean ill, or it can mean something genuinely impressive, depending on who's saying it and in the context they're saying it. And this is why large language models hallucinate in enterprise settings, because language is ambiguous, intention is ambiguous, and the space of possible interpretations is enormous. The model is constantly making probabilistic bets about what you might or might not mean. Sometimes it gets it right, and often it doesn't. And in high stakes business contexts, often it doesn't, is simply not good enough. Now, let's look at code. Python or any programming language doesn't care how you're feeling today. A function signature means exactly one thing. A loop executes in one way. Syntax is binary, either it compiles or it doesn't. And there's no cultural subtext in languages. There's no ambiguity. It either works or it doesn't. Now, code is at its core a very formal language. It has very rigid grammar, universal rules that apply the same way everywhere in the world. A Python developer in Tokyo is exactly the same as a Python developer in Toronto. There's no dialect, there's no nuance. It's not, well, depends on who you ask. Large language models are essentially typewriters. They're token prediction engines trained on patterns. And you know what? Coding is all patterns. It's clean, consistent, predictable, universal patterns. And of course, large language models are extraordinary at it because that's the thing that they were built to do is recognize structure and continue it. So here's how I reconcile these two. The pessimists are right. AI is overhyped in enterprise language tasks. And that's because language is hard, ambiguous, and context dependent in the ways that models just can't deal with. But the optimists are also right that the AI is transformative because in formal, structured domains like coding, the ambiguity problem disappears and the models perform at a level that is genuinely extraordinary. Now, this isn't a contradiction. It's actually a very clean and logical explanation of the pattern that we're seeing in the world today. The AI pessimists are listening to the marketing and seeing failure, but the AI optimists are looking at the technology and seeing success. The AI realists sit between these two and know that the technology can work in the right use cases. If you enjoyed this content, please consider subscribing to the channel so I can keep breaking down complex concepts into easy to understand pieces, and I'll see you in the next one.